My philosophy when it comes to cycling is get out and ride your bike. No matter what bike you've got, if it's a cheap entry-level bike or you've got a super duper high-end bike, get out and ride your bike. My name is Stuart Howison and this is the story of the revolution of cycling in Dubai.
Hi guys, this is Aishwarya Ajit and welcome to Dove Nourishing Secrets presents Body and Mind Season 3 powered by Alain Dairy. Now cycling, which started off as a primary mode of transportation in the 19th century, has since evolved by leaps. Cut to current times, while it is still a mode of transportation, it is also the livelihood of hundreds of thousands of elite athletes across the world, while still remaining a humble recreational activity. So today we learn from one of the pioneers of cycling in Dubai as to how the whole cycling revolution saddled into action.
It all started on Al Qudra Road about 9 years ago when my good friend Nicholas Brooks and I we'd gone out on a couple of outrides in the city and decided that we wanted to try and find a place that was a lot quieter, with less cars on it, and some place that we could feel safe and secure to go and ride our bikes. We started off with 4 or 5 people. The next week there was 9, 10. The following week there was 20, 30. And so it grew to a point where we had 100 and so people on the road with us. 9 years ago, there was always one very well-known car that would come up past us, a white G-Wagon with a number 1 on the plate. We'd always be very polite and wave to His Highness, thanking him for allowing us to ride on the road. And one Saturday morning, the group was coming back from our coffee ride, and they were pulled over, and everybody thought we were in a lot of trouble now because there's a lot of cyclists on the road. It's obviously something that's unusual. And the gentleman happened to be from the Road and Transport Authority, the RTA, and said that His Highness had seen us on the road. It's very dangerous. His Highness doesn't want to ban it, wants to encourage it, wants to build us a cycle track, and asked us for our input of what we wanted. Within a couple of months, we had the first of the infrastructure going in place of a cycle track going through the desert. 7 years later, there's over 200 kilometers worth of cycle track. That's probably the most iconic and picturesque cycle tracks in the world, and I have cycled pretty much everywhere around the world.
Cycle activism, or cycling as a sport, certainly has a spirit and a soul of its own. It's changed many lives over the years.
Well, cycling has had a very positive impact on my life, both personally and my family life. I have something to look forward to on the weekends. It's helped me lose weight. I've lost 30 kilos in the past 5-6 months now. I've been cycling for 1 year and almost seriously for the last 6 months.
I just joined the cycling group 2 months ago, so I'm a really beginner. In the beginning, I was like falling over. You can see scratch on my foot, but here it's awesome because they have a slow poke cook that help beginners to get into cycling, and they teach you all the rules, teach you how to cycle in a team, how to cooperate with each other, and it's an awesome experience for beginners to get into cycling.
My job is typically a sitting job, 12 hours a day, and doing anything outdoors used to be only a dream. Started 3 years back, and once it started doing a 35 kilometers at an average of 22 kilometers used to be an achievement. I could live my week with that happiness. But yeah, 3 years hence, I just finished 105 kilometers with an average of 30 plus, and I'm happy about it. It just keeps getting better.
All right, I'm now joined by the man himself, Stuart, the founder of Cycle Save Dubai, owner of Revolution Cycles, and the creator of Spinny's Dubai 92 Cycle Challenge. Did I get that all right?
Yeah, you did indeed, yeah.
All right, Stuart, before we start, I have a little bit of an admission to make. Please don't judge me.
No judging.
I do not know how to cycle. At least not without the support wheels on the side. I feel very embarrassed being a 32-something, admitting this live on national TV. But that is the fact.
That's awesome. It gives you something to aim for then.
Absolutely. I want to know a little bit more about the whole cycling culture that is slowly but steadily picking up in Dubai, because I believe you're one of the first to really power this through, isn't it?
So I'd say that there's always been a really strong cycling community in Dubai. It has definitely grown immensely over the past couple of years, isn't it? There, with the place that we first started riding would be out here on Al Qudra. We were the first guys to be riding out here with Cycle Safe Dubai, and from there it has just exploded and gone exponentially. It's just really got busy.
I mean, it's also a very popular choice of exercise worldwide.
Absolutely.
But what are some of the benefits of cycling, and especially doing it in an outdoor atmosphere like this?
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of benefits that come from it there. You get to sleep better, you're less stressed out, you're healthier lifestyle out there. You get to, from my side of it there, I enjoy my food. I love food. So
The
more,
wheel.
so the more you cycle, the more you can eat.
Right.
And it's a really healthy lifestyle. Gets you a lot less stressed on it there. And living where we do in Dubai, Dubai is a very high-paced, fast-paced, very stressed-out kind of environment.
Right.
But living very close to the Al Qudra cycle track, got the abilities to be able to come out my front door, ride onto the track, and you've got just over 200 kilometers of the most pristine cycle track in the world.
Very quickly, tell me a little bit about Cycle Safe Dubai. What are some of the future events you have coming up? I understand that you don't like to call it a club, you like to call it a team?
A team, it's a
Okay.
team. A team is something that we refer to Cycle Safe Dubai as a team because it's something where every single member of the team is an important and integral part of the community on there. It's a community-driven and community-based team. Cycling is a team sport. When one person's at the front riding into the wind, the rest of the team sitting behind him are getting a break from the wind. So that's why we call it Team Cycle Safe Dubai.
Okay.
We've got a number of things that we do. Every Friday and every Saturday we've got outrides that we do here on the Al Qudra cycle track. Wednesday nights down at the Dubai Autodrome, we've got rides going on down there.
I mean, I could only imagine the sort of response you get, because this is a Friday and I struggle to find parking out there because of the number of people who are part of this cycling sport. All right, Stuart, as I mentioned at the start, very embarrassingly, I shared a little secret with you that I do not know how to cycle. So how about you show me some basic tips for beginners such as me to sort of get into the sport, shall we?
I'll do one better than that. I'll introduce you to Simon, and Simon is our resident teacher. He'll be able to teach you how to ride a bike, get you comfortable on a bike, and show you all the little tricks and traits that he's got there to get you riding very quickly.
Fantastic. Let's meet Simon then. All right, guys, so a bit of a bummer. I was hoping to actually get on a bike and try a few things, but turns out this stuff is worth 50,000 dirhams, and I'm not worthy to sit on it, says this man right here. He won't let me sit on his bike, but I don't blame you, Simon, because if my bike was worth that much, I wouldn't let anyone near it. Now, as I mentioned before, this is day one for me. So what are some of the tips that you have for beginners?
Well, for a beginner to start with, we'd get you on a smaller bicycle than this one. We'd drop the saddle right down to the bottom. We'd remove the pedals.
Completely?
Completely remove
Wow.
the pedals.
Okay.
And what we would do is we'd use you as a balance bike. And we'd get you moving about 3 to 4 kilometers an hour, basically, just nicely gliding.
Okay.
And then when you get used to that, then we put the pedals back on and we start cycling.
Wow, so on day one, I'm just going to be Flintstoning my way through.
Flintstoning all the way through.
That's interesting. Now, of course, especially for someone like me who's trying this out a little later on in life, because typically this is something you would learn as a kid, I would imagine. There's always this fear factor of falling, which is greater when you're an adult, not so much when you're a child. So how can I combat that?
Basically, the first thing you've got over is actually wanting to learn to ride a bicycle. So you've wanted to learn, that's your first step over. We're here to help you all the way through. Fear-wise, yes, you may fall, but hopefully you're not going to.
All right, Simon, now I don't want to feel so bad about myself as I do right now. I'm really embarrassed to be a 30-something and to be standing here telling you I've never been on a bike before. Tell me you have clients older than me.
Yes, we have clients older than you. The oldest clients I've ever taught is somebody around 56, 57 years of age.
Okay.
And the youngest, probably 2 to 3 years of age. So,
All right, now I don't feel as bad about myself. So what I'm going to do is get 50,000 dirhams from my back pocket, get myself a bike, and see you next Friday.
see you next Friday on the track.
So guys, I was snubbed by the cyclists here at the Al Qudra cycling track, but I'm not going to take that to heart. They wouldn't let me use any of their bikes, and I don't have one of my own. But you never know, I may come back next week and give it a shot. I'll need to buy a bike though first. All right guys, it's still the middle of the day. I'm parched, so I'm going to cool down with my Elaine Dairy green cocktail. What's special about this is that it's got stevia, which is a natural sweetener and a substitute for sugar. Besides that, it's also got kiwi, apple, mango, lime and whatnot. So while I enjoy my drink, why don't you guys go check out a story we did on the ICC Cricket Academy, which not only promotes the sport of cricket but also encourages toddlers and teens to go out there and be active.